Why should you play the Arkham series? Arkham Asylum, peak. Arkham City, peak. Arkham Origins, pretty good. Arkham Knight, peak. Suicide Squad, let's ignore that one. What else is there to say? It's a pretty good series. Actually, there's probably a lot more to say, which is why we have today's video. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Batman Games Guide. Batman has so many great and wonderful games that I've decided to make this a multi-part video series split by era. Part 1 was all of the retro games, and part 2 was the LEGO games. Check that out if you haven't already. The final part of this series will cover any Batman games I haven't covered yet, so comment below any Batman games you want to see in the next one. But with all that out of the way, let's get started.
Stand back, fool, I've got a bomb! Huh? All right.
Arkham Asylum begins with Batman taking the Joker to Arkham. He decides to stick around after dropping him off because catching him was too easy. You walk with him through Arkham and then suddenly you get trapped. Now you must defeat all the escaped inmates and stop Joker's plan. Before you begin the game, you'll be able to pick between 3 difficulty options: easy, medium, and hard. After that, you'll go through the intro and begin the game. Once Joker runs away, you'll begin your first battle. The combat system is pretty simple. You have one basic attack, and when his bat sense goes off, you can click another button to counter. You'll learn more different combos as you progress through the game. Once you beat up an enemy enough, you'll be able to initiate a takedown, which lets you finish them off. Outside of attacks, you'll also be able to dodge and run. There isn't a heal in this game, but after you finish battles or clear an area, you will return to full health. While fighting is fun, one of the things Batman excels at is stealth. In certain areas, you'll have a section what is referred to as Predator mode. You'll have to stealthily take out every single enemy in the room. You can sneak behind them and do a silent takedown. An easy method I like to use is use the grappling gun to go up. You can use these points to glide down and stop an enemy, or grab them and tie them upside down on the gargoyle you're hiding on. If you get spotted, the easiest way is to immediately go up after throwing a smoke bomb down and then just run in a circle. The goons aren't very smart and will lose track of you pretty much immediately. Another place you can hide and move around in is vents. You can crawl through these areas to access new locations and sneak up on enemies. Batman is known as the world's greatest detective, so you will be investigating as much as you are fighting. Batman is able to change his sight into a detective mode. This can allow you to see enemies through walls, see if they're armed, gauge their mood based on heartbeat, and spot interactable items. You can also use it to analyze clues and track people down. It's very useful, so make sure to turn it on, especially when you get stuck. You'll have access to a wide array of gadgets as well. You've got your classic batarang, which you can use to hit enemies or objects. You've got the grappling gun I talked about earlier. You will unlock a lot of gadgets as you progress through the story, so make sure to keep an eye on your equipment. These will often help you progress through the game. Make sure to also check your upgrades. Here you can upgrade things like your fighting abilities as well as your many gadgets. The game will notify you when you have enough points to unlock a new upgrade. In this menu area, you can also check your map. It will show you the layout as well as where your next objective is. The game also has character bios that you can read through if you would like to learn more about them. It has one section for facts and another for backstory. Finally, let's talk about some of the collectibles you can find throughout the game. The most famous collectible is the Riddler trophy. There are 101 hidden throughout just this game alone. You have a lot of work ahead of you if you want 100% the game. Some of these trophies are hidden, some you have riddles to solve, shocker I know, and others are locked behind little challenge minigames. Another collectible is the Spirit of Arkham symbols hidden around the map. These will give you the history of Arkham Asylum and the family that founded it. Very interesting, so keep an eye out for those as they also do some foreshadowing for Arkham City. Finally, there are the interview tapes. These are from therapy sessions with the inmates of Arkham Asylum. It's a fun listen if you want to learn more about Batman's many villains and their personalities. That covers all of the basics of Arkham Asylum. The gameplay will stay pretty consistent throughout the entire series, so I'll only mention any changes and additions to this system in each entry. The Arkham series is also very connected, so I do recommend starting with this game before touching any of the other Arkham games. It's very fun and you won't regret it. The game is available on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
This is Vicky Vale reporting live from Arkham City, the controversial super prison built right here in the heart of Gotham. In a few moments, Bruce Wayne will be live on stage to explain his sudden interest in Gotham politics. The infamous Playboy millionaire has never been one to—
It's billionaire, Vicky. Billionaires are so last year.
I assumed that you thought yourself untouchable. Well, as you can see, no one is untouchable.
Thank you! Thank you, Gotham! Imprisoned behind these walls, gang leaders are fighting a bloody war in the middle of our once great city. Every inmate from Arkham Asylum and Blackgate prison has been relocated to this facility. How can this be safe for the people of Gotham?
Shut Arkham City down. It's out of control.
Shut it down. By the end of tonight, I will be a hero, just like you. Batman.
The next game in the series is Arkham City. This is a direct sequel to Arkham Asylum, so I do recommend you play that before you start City. Arkham City is a project run by Hugo Strange, where all of the inmates from both Blackgate and Arkham Asylum were put into a section of Gotham and allowed to run wild. Strange kidnaps Bruce Wayne and then admits to knowing his secret identity as Batman. He mentions a strange thing called Protocol 10, and now he must stop Strange and figure out what the mysterious Protocol 10 is. The core gameplay is the same as Asylum, but there's a bit more depth that improves it. You will start with all of the same gadgets you got in Asylum, and unlock a few more as you play through the game. More upgrades are included as well. The hacking mechanic from the previous game has some new abilities, such as hijacking frequencies to hear different broadcasts. The dialogue for henchmen is also a bit more entertaining here, so I do recommend taking your time to hear what they talk about before you attack them. It's worth your time.
Do you think the rumors are true? What? That Harley used to be a dude?
The biggest change is that it is more of an open world. There will be a bar at the top that will show you which direction you need to go to get to your objectives. Occasionally, you'll have to use something to track where you need to go next. It's a bit of a hot or cold situation, so the number will go up or down depending on if you are getting closer to the objective. This bigger world also has some great side content. I recommend keeping an eye out for it. If you want to wait until you beat the main story, you can still access everything after beating the game. If you really want extras to look out for, this game has 218 Riddler trophies that you can collect, so have fun with that. City includes 2 story DLCs you can play as well. First is the Catwoman DLC, which is interwoven throughout the main story. You'll occasionally switch to playing as Catwoman and seeing what she was up to at different points in the plot. She has slightly different gameplay and gadgets. You can use her whip in combat, and when jumping to buildings, she can use it to bring her closer, but you'll still have to do timed button presses to move up the building. She also has some of her own unique collectibles. For instance, some of the Riddler trophies I mentioned earlier will be pink instead of green. That means only Sheik has access to them. When you beat the game, there are certain locations that you can switch to Catwoman and then explore the world as her. My only con is that you can't pet the cats as Catwoman, which cat's in her name, you should be allowed to. I was very disappointed by this, but that's pretty much my only complaint about the game. The other story DLC is Harley Quinn's Revenge. This takes place after the main story. You'll mainly be playing as Tim Drake's Robin, but you will occasionally still switch to Batman throughout it. He has fun combat focused on using his bow staff. Unfortunately, they shaved his head in this game. It's really not a great look for him. Tragic, honestly. But it's a great epilogue to the game and is worth playing after you beat it. Arkham City is a fantastic sequel to Asylum, and I really recommend checking it out. Any small issues Asylum may have had are fixed in City, making this game even more fun to play. It's available on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Wii U, Switch, and PC. The next game in this series is Arkham Origins. This is a prequel to the series, so you technically don't need to know the previous games to play this one. One thing I do want to point out is that this game was made by Warner Bros. Montreal instead of Rocksteady. This is because they wanted more games to come out while they were waiting for Rocksteady to finish Arkham Knight. They keep the gameplay pretty similar to the previous games, with some minor changes here and there, but nothing very major. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, so they kept as similar to the core gameplay as possible. This game follows Batman early on in his career, and it takes place on Christmas Eve. Black Mask has sent assassins after him, and he must stop their plans. But this plot's kind of changed partway through the game. It's not a bad change, but just be prepared that the plot it sets up isn't exactly the plot it's gonna stick with. Similar to City, it's an open world game, but on a slightly smaller scale. You have to go around to different towers to unlock fast travel points on the map, which will make moving around easier as you play through the game. Crime scene investigations feel a bit more similar to something like Detroit Become Human, as you will be simulating the events of the crime. It can be a little tricky to find certain clues because you might know where it is, but you have to get the simulation to line up with it before it will let you interact. It's a cool mechanic, but it does struggle a bit at times. The grappling hook also has a new feature called the grapnel boost that can help you move faster with the grappling hook. Very useful on speeding through areas you want to get through faster. Origins also has 2 story DLCs that you can check out. Initiation will show the end of Bruce Wayne's martial arts training, and Cold Cold Heart is focused on a story about Mr. Freeze. Origins has a new look at early Arkham Batman and can be really fun at times. The game is available on PS3, Wii U, Xbox 360, and PC. Arkham Origins Blackgate is very different from the previous Arkham titles. Originally released for the 3DS and PS Vita, its gameplay is closer to a 2D side-scroller, except it's still in 3D. You can only move left to right, but the camera will change, making it feel like you're moving around the map more. You'll have an analysis mechanic that you'll be using to discover new things you can interact with. You'll also still be using all of Batman's gadgets throughout the game. It has a lot of the same core gameplay mechanics, but it's more simplified for the handheld hardware. It's not terrible, but when you've been playing a lot of other Arkham games back to back, it can be a bit of an adjustment. I found the fighting to feel a bit more boring and repetitive just due to the lack of movement. The Predator mechanic also threw me off because I'm just so used to the other Arkham games. One of the worst parts about this game is genuinely its tutorial. When I immediately died to the Catwoman boss fight, I was prepared to just quit and never touch this game again. While doing some research, I learned the game improves quite a bit more once you pass this section. I highly recommend trying to play past the tutorial and then try out a bit more of the game before deciding if you want to fully quit it or not. The game shines more in its puzzles and exploration. After the tutorial, the game will open up a lot more, and you could explore and tackle different things in different orders. The puzzles and the way they use the gadgets are very creative. If you look at this game as a separate spin-off with different gameplay, it feels a bit more fun than when you try to just compare it to all of the other Arkham titles. You'll be trying to stop 3 different villains that have escaped Blackgate. You can actually do these villains in any order, and they all have a unique finale depending on who you save for last. The cutscenes are in a cool comic book style format, but when they talk outside of those, the mouths don't move. I understand why it's like that, it just threw me off a bit. The story stands on its own, so you don't really need to know the other Arkham games to give this one a shot. If you like Metroidvanias, the game is worth checking out. It's available on 3DS, Vita, PS3, Wii U, Xbox 360, and PC.
This demonstration used just 5 ounces of my latest toxin. Tomorrow, this will seem like child's play. Gotham, this is your only warning.
It took just 24 hours for us to lose control of the city. Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
Arkham Knight, the game that made me want to get into this series. For those of you who are unaware, Red Hood is my favorite DC character, so I knew this game was going to be a must-play for me, and I felt so much joy upon booting this game up. Oh, wait, what is that? The Batmobile is now a major part of the gameplay. You'll be able to drive through Gotham and shoot missiles at vehicle enemies. You will be using the Batmobile a lot. I personally am not a big fan of all the Batmobile sections, but that's because I am horrible at driving in literally every Batman game. I think I'm cursed or something. Outside of this new vehicle, the rest of the gameplay is similar to the first 2 games in this trilogy. Everything's just bigger and better. The plot of this game is focused mainly on stopping Scarecrow from using fear gas on all of Gotham. It is the big finale to the main trilogy of Arkham games, so I really recommend you play through Arkham Asylum and City before you play this game. It also features a lot of great side missions featuring Batman's massive rogue gallery. I highly recommend that you take your time with this game and check out the side content. It really is worth your time. They are such fun missions. Arkham Knight also has a lot of DLC. You can get most of it from just buying the season pass. It contains a collection called the Arkham Episodes, which is all of the major story DLCs. These include Harley Quinn Story Pack, Red Hood Story Pack, Family Matters, which features Batgirl, GCPD Lockdown, where you play as Nightwing, Catwoman's Revenge, where you play as Catwoman fighting Riddler, and Flip of a Coin, which features Robin dealing with Two-Face. The season pass also has some fun skins for Batman and some other characters. It's worth getting if you are craving more Arkham Knight content. Arkham Knight is available on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. The next game in this series is Arkham VR. It is a very short game, like under an hour, and some people have called it more of a tech demo than a game. They're not wrong. The gameplay is extremely limited. There are some minor interactions and puzzles, but honestly outside of that, I feel like there's not that much you can do. This is partly due to it coming out when VR was still very new, but they're charging $20 for it, which is kind of insane considering how little content is actually in the game. I won't say much about the story, but it is unclear if it's canon or not, just based on how you interpret it. Since you need a VR headset to play it, I recommend only getting the game if you can grab it on sale and already own a headset, but don't try to get a VR headset just for this game. I don't think that's worth it.
Metropolis. It's the little things that really change a city's vibe. The weather, gentrification, the alien invasion.
Task Force X, stop sightseeing and see if you can kill everything in sight. Got it?
Suicide Squad. If I were to discuss everything that went wrong with this game, it could be an entire separate video. If you want all of the details on what happened, there are so many great videos on YouTube that can cover the background and everything that happened with this game. For the sake of getting through this guide, I will just give a very brief summary. Essentially, what could have been a really good game about the Suicide Squad was kind of fucked over by the company because they wanted to make it a live service shooter. It had a lot of delays and even more issues upon release, which is probably why I was able to buy this $70 game for about $5. The plot of this game is that Brainiac is mind controlling the Justice League and taking over the world. The Suicide Squad must stop them, hence the name Kill the Justice League. You'll be able to play as one of 4 characters throughout this game, and you can do a co-op with up to 3 friends. The group consists of Deadshot, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and Harley Quinn. Each character has a slightly different playstyle. They'll have at least one gun and one alternative gun or melee weapon. They also have different movement skills to help them quickly move across the large maps. They will go over each character individually in the game's intro, and then you can pick which one you like to play as the most. The story has a lot of issues. This really hurts me to say, because I love narrative in games. I'll sit and watch just full cutscenes movies if I don't feel like playing through the game or I have some issue with it. But the first, long cutscene after the tutorial, I got bored. It was the first time I sat there and was like, this cutscene's too long. And I didn't even like the gameplay that much either. I was kind of bored playing the game itself. I'm playing as King Shark with a machine gun. I love King Shark. I love the Suicide Squad. And I didn't care. I was bored. I actually kind of like shooters, and I was not having any fun. It really hurts to see the potential this game had being crushed by what I'm assuming, take this with a grain of salt, because I don't fully really know what happened. I'm assuming was higher-ups' greedy decisions. If you still want to try this game out, make sure to get it on sale. It is not worth the full price. But if you want to buy it, get it for $5 on a Steam sale like I did. It's available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The latest game in the Arkham series is Arkham Shadow. This is another VR game, but before you get scared, it has a lot of improvements compared to the last game. You'll be playing as Batman about 6 months after the events of Arkham Origins and 3 months after Origins Blackgate. Batman must stop the new villain of this game named Rat King. On top of having what is a really entertaining story, the gameplay's managed to greatly translate the classic Arkham gameplay into VR. You'll be physically punching your enemies and doing the classic Predator sections. Everything I've seen about this game looks super fun. I have not played it. This is because it is exclusive to the MetaQuest 3. Honestly, if I were to get a VR headset, I feel like I'd want to get the MetaQuest now just because I could play this game. Unfortunately, I do not have the kind of money to drop $600 on a MetaQuest just to play one game. It's meant to be played in VR, so I really don't think a port would fix this issue. If I wanted classic Arkham combat, I would just boot up the other Arkham games, because we have that multiple times over in all the previous games. If you happen to already own the MetaQuest 3 and you're looking for a new game for it, and you like Batman, boot up this game, get this one. It's supposed to be really good. It's like 7 hours long, already a bit more worth the price than the last VR game. As good as it might be, it could be the perfect game in the world, for all I know. It is, I don't think it's worth $600+ for just this. So, unfortunately, unless you're super rich, I really don't recommend buying an entire VR headset just for this, at least until VR has a bigger game library that's worth investing in such an expensive device. Anyways, that covers about all of the games in the series. But if you want more content, I have good news for you. Arkham actually features a good amount of content outside of just the games. First off, there are a lot of tie-in comics. Arkham Asylum has one single tie-in comic. It's very short and covers the events leading up to the start of the game, where he's driving Joker to Arkham. It's a fun little story if you want to learn just a little bit more about Arkham Asylum. Arkham City has a couple tie-in comics as well. There's a 5-issue mini-series that bridges the gap between Asylum and City. There's also a series called Arkham Unhinged that was released about the same time as City, and Arkham City Endgame takes place after the game, but before the events of the Harley Quinn's Revenge DLC. Origins actually has a very unique choose-your-own-adventure comic with music and stuff that you can interact with, and you can get different endings depending on how you play it. Arkham Knight has a prequel comic that covers the events between City and Night. Batgirl Begins was a promotional one-shot comic that they released freely at a con to promote the game, and Arkham Knight Genesis focuses on the origins of the Arkham Knight. Finally, Suicide Squad is a 4-issue series covering how Amanda Waller took over Arkham Asylum to recruit the Suicide Squad. There's also a 1-hour-long animated film. You can watch it free with ads on YouTube. It's called Assault on Arkham. It takes place 2 years before the events of Asylum and follows what the Suicide Squad was up to during that time. Despite the fact that the title actually starts with Batman's name, it's a lot more focused on Suicide Squad, and Batman's a bit more of a side character in this film. The Arkham series also has 2 novels, mostly for Arkham Knight. First is Arkham Knight's Riddler's Gambit. It's a prequel to the Arkham Knight game, and the other is a novelization of Arkham Knight. While these are no longer available, I thought it was pretty cool. There were 2 theme park attractions that were related to the series at one point. The first was a VR roller coaster experience called Arkham Asylum Shock Therapy at Warner Brothers Movie World in Australia. This ride was shut down, but I thought it was pretty neat, and there's a couple videos that you can watch the footage of it on YouTube. The other was a horror maze they did 1 year at Warner Brothers Studio Tour for a Halloween event. You can find footage of that on YouTube as well. Seeing them makes me think, how cool would it be if we had a official Arkham dark ride? I don't know what theme park they would put this in, but a full dark ride that's kind of scary would be so neat. Anyways, that covers everything the Arkham series has to offer and wraps up part 3 of this Batman Games Guide series. I will be doing one more video to cover any games we haven't gone over yet. I'm currently planning for that video to do the Batman 2013 Arcade, Injustice 1 and 2, the Telltale Batman game, and Gotham Knights. If there are any other Batman games that I'm forgetting about and you want me to put in, please comment it below and I will add it to the list. While you wait for part 4, please check out the first 2 parts of the series where I cover Retro and Lego Batman. Like and subscribe for more video game series guides. Your support means a lot to me. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!